Our first lightning talk is going to be by John Constable, and his talk is entitled CVE 2026 30388 User Enumeration via Timing Attack and iRODS Native Authentication. Take it away.
Okay, right. Thank you, Corey. Thank you, everyone. For people who know me for a while, I'm still at Sanger, but I've actually moved to a cybersecurity role. So I couldn't resist combining the two interests and combining some cybersecurity with iRODS. And I also have a side hustle as the world's only iRODS consulting technologist or something like that. And it's that role in which I'm presenting this talk. So I'm not speaking on behalf of Sanger. I'm speaking on behalf of myself. Okay, that being said, so I don't know if anyone here has ever been through the pleasure of trying to submit a bug report to a company and get the bug recognized and all those kinds of things. Fortunately, Vinci have a nice process for doing this sort of thing, but the whole industry has a thing called CVEs, common vulnerability enumeration, which has a score like that we see here. And this is what I'm talking about today, which is a bug that I found in iRODS Well, I found it in 5.01, but I suspect it's earlier, couldn't speak to later. Now, can I move the slides on? Hang on a minute. Yeah, I can. Okay, good. This is the only other slide I've got, so it's not that much. Basically, the short version is that there is a timing variance in iRODS server, which means it follows a different code path when you're trying to authenticate as a valid user versus an invalid user. Now, iRODS admins or veterans may say at this point, well, that's a very silly bug, John, because iRODS will tell you whether it's a valid user or not, and indeed, you'd be quite correct. However, I thought it was worth mentioning this and raising this simply because it's not a obvious code path. Yes, the iRODS will tell you, but if that changes later on, then this behavior is also worth pointing out and maybe fixed in a future version. The short version is, as you can see here, is that when you try and connect to iRODS with a user that is registered in iRODS, no matter what the password is, it will take one path and with a fairly repeatable time, whereas if you connect with a user that isn't registered in iRODS, it will take a much shorter path, presumably for valid reasons that it wants to compute the checksum of the hash of the password, check the password against the database, all those kinds of things, which of course it's not going to do if it isn't a valid user. And there are ways in secure coding that you can kind of do things like add in a delay to it, and things like that. I reported this to Vinci back in around February time, and actually this was me playing around with a bit of AI when I was learning about timing attacks in cybersecurity. And one of the things I thought it worth a mention as well today is that I spent a fair amount of time, in fact I spent much more time working out how to report this to Vinci, hopefully in a useful way, than I did actually getting AI to find the bug in the first place. As people are probably seeing in cybersecurity, this is a big problem where people find low quality bugs in software and submit them, and open source maintainers are getting overwhelmed. Maybe this is what Toll talked about in the talk earlier today. Unfortunately, I missed it, so hopefully there's some kind of crossover there. That's all I really had to say. I'm going to publish the URL and the QR code and the URL there a little bit later on. It's a private repo at the moment, and I'll try and get to that a little later on today or possibly tomorrow. Because at the moment it is under embargo because I didn't talk about it until I've actually announced it. So there we go. Any questions?
Oh, all right. So that's time, John. Thank you.
Thank you very much.